Hello and welcome to Lightroom Bits. Thank you very much for watching this video. Today I'm going to be dealing with a seascape here. We have some nice foreground interest leading to the pretty little cottage there, with a nice fade out across there. Nice sky as well. Interesting sea. A few little things to fix here and there. A little bit of flare up there. And don't like that rock just poking up there, and these are a little bit black. First job is to see where the focus point is, so I'm using the Show Focus Points plugin extra. And you can see my focus point is about a third of the way into the image, which is what I usually like to do with landscape images. And of course the point of interest is really that white cottage there, so the focus point is near that. So I'll just close that plugin. So we'll change modes into the develop mode. See, we've got a little bit of blacks going on. The effect from the sun has really lost a little bit of contrast as well, but I'm not entirely sure it's completely straight. But you do need to watch horizons in an image where the horizon may not be a real horizon here. As you see, we've got hills coming into the sea, which are going to affect things a little. So I'm going to try to fix this. See what I can choose to be straight. I can use the angle, and I don't really trust over here to be straight, so I'm going to just work carefully, just try to get that bit. Okay, that's chopped out our rock there, which is quite nice. But I do want to give the image a more of a panoramic look. At the moment it's a little too 4x3, a little too square. So I need to decide if the foreground is more important or the sky is more important. The actual foreground is actually quite nice. I like this seaweed and the sun shining through it, but I think I need to be showing sky. So I'm going to bring this crop up a little bit. I won't put the third line directly on the sea because that's going to have, these rocks here are very black. I don't really want a really black area in the corner of the image there, so I'm just bringing it up a little bit, just so those rocks are there, providing a nice edge to the image, but without it being too black. So that looks okay, and it looks straighter as well, and there's a more of a panoramic look to it. First thing I want to do is I'd like to make the image a little more cold looking, just to give a little bit more of a feel to it. It's slightly too warm. Just bring down, just brought down the color temperature just a touch, just to cool the image a little bit. We've lost a lot of contrast here. With the sun is just out of the picture here, but shooting into the sun can have an effect on contrast. So I'm just going to bring this contrast up. Okay, and I'm going to set the close-up on the cottage. You see that pink line, got a bit of CA there, which we can fix. Next job is to just drop the highlights a little, I think. It's working on trying to give the image some punch. It's the lack of contrast is giving it a little bit of a washed out look. A lot of blacks and dark areas here, so I'm going to bring the shadows up. That's 100% up. Okay. Drop whites a touch. Okay. And a little bit black in the image, so let's bring up black slightly. Okay. Now to work on some punch, give it some clarity. Vibrance. I think this will take a fair amount of vibrance. Okay. And saturation. Saturation isn't really helping too much. There's not really any reds in the image apart from the red on that little cottage. Okay, just going to do a bit of work on the sky now. Just going to bring in a grad filter. Just drag that down so it touches the tops of the hills, and I'm just covering over the filter just to see what's being affected. Bring that down just a touch. Okay. So, sky, I'm going to drop the exposure a little. Okay. Highlights drop again. Just to bring a bit more drama to the clouds. And saturation. Okay, I'm going to add a touch more clarity just to work on the sky a bit, and a bit more, just a touch of saturation. I don't want to affect that blue too much. I don't want to make it look fake. Switch on and off again. Okay, so the clouds look more defined. We've got a little bit more drama in the sky. So finish that off. Foreground, I like on a any type of image like this just to try out a grad filter on the foreground just to help the image lead in. See what we can do. Let's just add a touch of clarity. Oh yes, it just brings the wet rocks a little more touch there, and I'm going to force some sharpness in there, just a little. Okay, I'll check the before and after. So we've already got a little bit more punch there. I could try to handle this misty look in the hills, but I quite like that look. And you see the effect of making the image a little cooler has just made the water a little more blue. It was a little green really. So let's go back to the image we're working on. Got to deal with this next. So let's try a healing brush. looks good. Go back to a close-up on the cottage again. And let's just deal with that CA. There it's gone. I'll just check the profile correction just to see if that helps the image at all. I'm not sure about that. I think it's a little bit of a toss-up, which looks nicer. It feels to me that the profile correction actually stretches the white cottage. So I'm going to leave it uncorrected, I think. But that's just me. So let's have a look at a before and after. So you see we've added more punch. It's more of a panoramic look to it. There's a nice bit of interest as we look at the rocks in the foreground leading to the cottage and then leads us off the image. It gives some interest. Go back to our full-size image, and that's our Seascape full screen. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope to see you again. And for the second video running, an extra bit for the Lightroom bit. I forgot to add sharpening again. So adding sharpening, scroll down to the sharpening section. I'm going to check the masking, holding down Alt and dragging across the masking so all of the white bits will be sharpened. So we can use this to not introduce as much noise as if we sharpen the whole lot. So I just bring it right down. So we're sharpening the edges of the clouds, our little cottage and the sea, edges of the rocks. I'll let it go there, and now I'm going to run the sharpness. See how much it will take. Okay, that looks nice. Check it before and after again. And back to full screen. Thank you for watching Lightroom Bits.